Alrighty, so UFC recently announced a few fights, or I guess I should say there's rumored fights. I don't think these fights are necessarily confirmed, but it's kind of like implied because, either the match got leaked or the implication on who's getting the next title shot, and obviously they're on the thumbnail, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Khumshot Chimaev versus Dricus Du Plessis. Now, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Early predictions, I'm going Dricus Du Plessis. Now, listen, I get why people are picking Khumshot. I get it. 14-0 at middleweight. Well, has one middleweight win, I guess we'll say. But yeah, I'm picking Dricus Du Plessis. Early thoughts, and you know what? I've been thinking about it for a while. Obviously, since like the Robert Whittaker fight, or even before the Robert Whittaker fight, the implication was that if Khumshot wins, then it's gonna be, Khumshot for the title. I don't think this fight is like confirmed 100% yet, but the idea is that I think it's after 315, 316. Maybe it's even maybe it is announced actually. Let me just let's see what we got here. Is it actually officially announced? 315 is Bilal. Old Craig. Is it 16? No, it's not officially announced yet. Okay, so it's not officially announced yet. Just wanted to double check, make sure I'm not spouting bullshit, but yeah. I just don't see Khumshot beating DDP. Like, listen, I get it. He submitted Robert Whittaker. I get it. He probably would have locked in the submission had Robert Whittaker's jaw not fucking gave out on him. Completely understand. But I just don't see it, Like, Kamaru Usman, arguably a draw. I don't think round one was a 10-8. Like, we're giving 10-8s for that. Like, I mean, it was dominant, but, maybe I'll have to look at the Sean Brady, Leon Edwards scorecard, but I had a lot of people scoring that 10-9. I had him 10-8 in almost every fucking round. Sean Brady, that is. I would say Sean Brady dominated more on Leon Edwards than fucking Khumshot in round one of Kamaru Usman, though. Like, maybe I have to look back, maybe I have to look at it a little bit differently, but I just don't really see it. And that's a fat Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman was good at his time, but even a washed Kamaru Usman off the couch, short notice, at a weight class up, is giving this guy problems, you know what I mean? Now, I know the excuses for Khumshot fans are going to be like, but he was injured. Oh, but he had a hand injury after round one or whatever, right? And I get that, but it is just like, I think the Robert Whittaker fight is a unicorn situation where Khumshot just showed up full HP, 100% health bar. He's chilling, Where I think when he fights someone like Dricus Du Plessis, he will have to be 100% health. There better not be a single fucking hole on his arm or anything for a staph infection, which, could be quite common amongst, certain beard types, we'll say. Certain nut huggers, we'll say. But, yeah, like, even if he shows, like, 100% like the Whittaker, yeah, he was fast at diving at legs. No offense to Robert Whittaker, but he hasn't really fought people who will offensively grapple with Whittaker that often. Now, I get it. He's training for it and everything like that. But he's not really fighting like these heavy grapplers. Like, Marvin is shit. Adesanya's not grappling with him. Kelvin's dog shit. Jared Cannonier, no offense to Jared. Jared's got a pretty good striking. I can't remember that fight too well, so I'm not going to speak too much about it. Yoel Romero, obviously not a fucking takedown guy. Adesanya, Darren Till, like, none of these guys are grapplers. I'm sorry. Like, Paulo Costa didn't shoot a single fucking takedown, and wobbled Whittaker pretty bad. And I want to say that might have been the end of the first. Maybe it was the end of the second. I can't remember. It was, I don't think it was the third. But, regardless, Khumshot Chimaev was the best grappler Robert Whittaker faced, and he gets submitted. Yeah, that makes sense. Dricus Du Plessis, while his last fights haven't been against wrestlers and grapplers, he at least, like, he's in jiu-jitsu tournaments, you know what I mean? He doesn't really fight wrestler or grapplers either. Maybe that's just like a weakness in fucking middleweight, I guess. But, you know, Dricus Du Plessis offensively grapples. Yes, he's been taken down by like the likes of Derek Brunson. That was a while ago at this point. We're looking at like 2 years ago, fresh into the UFC before champ, and that was before oxygenated Dricus Du Plessis, baby. You know, people forget, man, before the Robert Whittaker fight, he had no surgery to increase his oxygen levels by like 88% or something like that. You know, apparently that was a contribution, I should say, to why he looks so shit, but he still looks shit, even though he makes it look impressive. But, you know, like, he's got submission wins, he submitted Adesanya, you know, like, I don't think, like, Khamzat could do the same thing Dricus did to his opponents, maybe except for the Sean Strickland one. Hot take, I think Sean Strickland beats Khamzat, maybe, maybe I'll do another video on that, but, no, I do think Dricus Du Plessis, like, if I was to make this fight, I would genuinely make Dricus Du Plessis, like, a minus 150, plus 105 for Khamzat Chimaev. I just don't think Khamzat Chimaev is really that good. Like, I get it, yeah, he submitted Kevin Holland, is shit. You know, that's aged like fucking milk, you know. It's just, like, Reiner de Ritter's getting him down. I get it, he's a good grappler, but, like, come on, bruh. You know, Roman Dolidze fucking... was that a corner stoppage after Roman Dolidze got a fucking takedown? You know, I get it, short notice, everything like that, but still, it's just fucking, you know, and that was a while ago. We're looking at, oh my god, we're looking at 3 years ago, and then he takes a fight 2 years ago, and it's that against Kamaru Usman. This guy only fights once a year, conveniently always around October. I wonder why, guys. Maybe they're going to Abu Dhabi every October, huh? Big surprise, but... yeah, this guy fights once a year, so obviously the implication is that it's going to be Khamzat, Dricus Du Plessis, near October, near Abu Dhabi time. And yeah, it's going to be home turf for Khamzat, but like, Dricus is going to be forward all 25 minutes of that fight. If Khamzat gassed really bad in that Kamaru Usman fight, he talks about always going for a finish. I get it, Dricus Du Plessis, I think his 2 losses are by finish. Yeah, he got KO'd, and then he got, it was a technical submission. Way early in his career, like, way before the UFC. But, I get it, his 2 losses are finish, but, like, I just don't see Khamzat Chimaev doing what he did to Whittaker on Dricus Du Plessis, like, at all. And we're assuming 100% Chimaev. If Khamzat goes into this fight with a broken hand, and he can't get a takedown, or even if he does get a takedown and Dricus can get back to his feet, or survive round 1, buddy, you're looking at 20 minutes with Dricus Du Plessis, all gas, no breaks, in your face. We know Dricus can go 5 minutes and just keep on swinging. Sean Strickland first fight, even though I thought Sean Strickland won that. He, like, you know, stats are stats. I get it. But he was going forward the whole time while being outlanded, you know? Dricus Du Plessis was. So, even if, like, Khamzat's putting pressure and everything on Dricus, I think Dricus is still gonna fucking push forward, you know? And, as much as, like, Adesanya was doing kind of successful on the feet, Adesanya's like a counter striker, you know? Khamzat's going to wars with Gilbert Burns. You know what I mean? Like, I respect the fuck out of Gilbert Burns. He's not like a top 10 striker, you know what I mean? It's like, especially at welterweight, you know, he's not even close to the top 10 now. You know, that win hasn't aged very well. You know, Gilbert Burns on what, a 3-4 loss streak? It's rough, man. It's rough for Gilbert Burns, you know? JDM put him away. Khamzat fucking couldn't. A lot of people thought this was a robbery, and they thought Gilbert Burns won. Like, how many times are we gonna have these robberies with this fucking... I'm not gonna say cheating, right? But, you know, weight bully at welterweight. And now he's at middleweight, where there's big dudes, you know? Respect to Robert Whittaker, I get it. But it is just, like, there's a lot of ifs, and, like, well, that's convenient, you know, with the Robert Whittaker one. Oh, Khamzat Chimaev shows up full HP after pulling out, I think it was one time. Could have been twice, to be fair, because he got a little too sick, you know? I think if Khamzat takes the fight, and we're assuming October, right? If Khamzat's taking this fight with Dricus Du Plessis, he better hope he doesn't get sick. Because if he pulls out of the fight, There goes his title shot. Let's keep the same energy, Dana White. You know, I think we know that Dana White's just gonna have, oh, well, Khamzat's the #1 contender. Even if Khamzat pulls out, you know, even if it's an Arman Tsarukyan situation, I get it. Tsarukyan pulled out because of, like, he's being a puss, but it's still just, like, disgusting to see. You know what I mean? These, like, instant title rematches, and, you know, contender pulls out, and for some reason, the ones from a certain cliff get privilege. It's just saying, but, yeah, it is just, like, Khamzat better show up 100%, you know? He better be on every fucking medication he can be before the fight starts, or before the fight gets before the fight camp starts, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But it is just, like, it's hard for me to imagine Dricus Du Plessis getting finished in round 1 when, yeah, he went against, you know, Robert Whittaker, but he whoops people in round 1, man. Like, yeah, I think Adesanya, won that first round. The Strickland one was quite competitive, but in both Strickland fights, he definitely won round 1. If I'm remembering that correctly. You know, he got the corner stoppage on Derek Brunson, you know. He submitted Darren Till, it is what it is, but, you know, just, I don't know, it's just, Still Knox is, like, good, you know? As much as he looks ugly when he's in there, he is fucking good, you know? And I do think, like, I like Robert Whittaker, but it is just, like, yeah, he's a little over the hill, you know what I mean? He's a little, like, title shots are kind of out of the picture for a little bit with Robert Whittaker, unfortunately, you know? Took that Ikram fight, whooped Ikram. He took the Khamzat fight, even though it's like, you're rewarding a guy for pulling out because he was sick, just saying. But yeah. Even if Khamzat shows up 100%, I'd still lean like a 60-40 for, like, Dricus Du Plessis to win. You know, Dricus, I think, is just going to put on the pressure. I think right now he's probably going to get a TKO in the later rounds, because Khamzat does gas. Never been in 5 rounds. You know, it's rough. And he does rely on these finishes. You know, and he couldn't finish Burns, man. You're telling me the guy who couldn't finish Gilbert Burns, a guy who has, like, pretty good grappling, to be fair, a guy at welterweight who's a weight bully and couldn't finish Gilbert Burns is going to finish Dricus Du Plessis up a weight class? You know, and I get it. Khamzat didn't make welterweight all that long ago, I guess. Like 3 years. I guess it was kind of a while ago. Or at least attempted, because I think he missed weight for the Kevin Holland one, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. He made weight like 3 years ago for welterweight. Bro, Dricus could never fucking make welterweight, let me tell you. This guy is like a built middleweight. Like, you can tell he cuts to middleweight. Khamzat, I get it, he's a little chunkier outside of camp, but he doesn't look all that big. You know, I know he likes to talk, you know, I'll take on Pereira, I'll take on this guy, blah, 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 right? He's not a 205er, you know? Like, he's only 6'2", you know? Damn, Dricus is only 6 foot. Those gotta be off numbers, you know? He looked way taller against Adesanya. How tall is Adesanya? Gotta be like 6'3", 6'4"? No shot. I don't believe these fake numbers. Dricus is at least 6'2". And we're talking about density, alright? We're talking about density here. Hey. Talking about density. Fucking the true African king right here is the density king. You know, this guy does look like he's on roids. Maybe he is. You know, we still gotta get the testing pool going, but yeah, I just can't see Khamzat Chimaev finishing Dricus in round 1, and if he can't finish Dricus in round 1, that Kamaru Usman performance is like, I get MMA math doesn't always work, but Kamaru, like, his wins aren't aging that well. Kevin Holland's an unranked bum at this point. Gilbert Burns, 4-loss streak. Leach, it's not really aging that well. Jared Mearshart, not aging that well. Reese McKee, okay, you know, maybe I got that pick right, but still hasn't aged all that well in hindsight. You know, Kamaru Usman hasn't aged that well, you know? Kamaru's ducking everyone. He lost to Edwards twice, won by finish. Like, Edwards is finishing Kamaru, and you're telling me Khamzat can't? You know, like, that worries me a lot. That worries me a lot, man. You know? So, it is just, ugh. You know, we know where Edwards stands. Edwards beat Kamaru Usman the second time not that long ago. You know, I think it was actually 2023, so like 2 years ago. And we know where these fighters stand, and it's just like, brother, Khumshot better get a first-round finish. But yeah, that's a little bit, pretty much all I wanted to discuss today. I wanted to get my early thoughts and opinions on this fight. There's a few other fights I was going to go into, but, you know, I've already rambled on for a little bit. But, yeah, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching. And as always, I hope you have a good day.